I would suggest not only is Syria unraveling, but the dialogue on Syria is unraveling right now. What do you look for from Washington as we see refugees and migrants in Europe and we see the warfare continue in Syria?
Well, if you're looking from the perspective of the United States, number one, we have to step up to play ourselves, as the president did to some degree yesterday. It's hard for us to lecture the Europeans about taking in refugees when we took in 1,800 last year. So we have some credibility, number one. Number two, ultimately, we have to go to the source of this. The source of the bleeding is in Syria, in the Middle East. And until that bleeding is cauterized, it's stopped in some way, this is going to pour into Europe and beyond. With respect to Europe itself, they're going to have to work out a structure of processing and sharing the refugees. It's going to be very difficult for Europe. There are all sorts of strains, fears of cultural changes, fears of economic threats. But this is really a test of whether Europe stays together as a united Europe.
I want to ask you about the refugees in just a moment, but first let's go to the root cause of the problem. Syria, you say the United States has to step up. The current administration has made the case, to whom do we step up and with whom? It's a situation where there are a lot of factions and none are necessarily the good guys.
Well, that's true. I mean, but look at it this way. The conflict, which was once about transforming Syria, then became about transforming the Middle East, and now it's about transforming Europe. So we're not going to solve this problem until we try to do something about Syria. That's going to require, I think, that we take a more activist, more forceful position. We're prepared to work with others to support those moderate Syrians that are left who still want to defeat both ISIS and Assad, and put ourselves at the table here, which we are not right now.
Sandy, you spent a good amount of time as our national security advisor to the stereotype of let's take out a regime or take out a government. You were in the reality of a statement like that. Is it as simple as can we, quote unquote, take out Mr. Assad, or is that just a fiction?
No, we certainly haven't and can't. This is not a matter of taking out Assad. It's a matter of helping to create a counterforce in Syria that can defend itself and press against Assad on one side, ISIS on the other side. Assad seems to be losing ground, but there's no middle right now between Assad on one side and the Islamic extremism on the other. And we have to try, with our allies and others, with the Saudis and others, to solidify that middle ground, arm it, provide a no-fly zone where people can have some safety, where the bombers, the helicopters with barrel bombs can't go, and try to build from there. There's an immediate emergency with refugees that we have to deal with, but we cannot ultimately deal with it if we don't stop the hemorrhage.
How do the Europeans deal with the refugees, given the fact that so many economic migrants are mixed in with those who would like asylum?
Yeah, well, it's a real challenge, and this demonstrates the fact that they're totally unprepared for it. I mean, there are two kinds of migrants here. There are political refugees, mostly from Syria, who clearly are fleeing from a reasonable fear of persecution, which is the definition of a political refugee. Under international law, Europe has an obligation to keep those people. And then there's a flood of economic migrants who are going to find a better life. And they have no obligation.